living things have a common property called irritability. Irritability. All living things have a common property called irritability. 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 The pricking is the stimulus. The pricking is the stimulus. The energy used for the pricking is very small, but the resulting reaction involves generally a much larger amount of energy. This is characteristic of all manifestations of irritability. 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 The filings are moved by the tapping. The filings are moved by the tapping. If iron filings were living things, we would have called this oriented movement a tropism, from the Greek word meaning I turn. If we remove the magnet, the filings are now influenced only by gravity. Reaction in living things to the change in direction of gravity is called geotropism. Geotropism. Plant stems show plainly the so-called negative geotropism, negative geotropism, negative geotropism, which makes them grow vertically away from the earth. We can disturb this normal reaction by placing the plants so that their stems are horizontal. If we do so and leave the plants in darkness for a few hours, we find that the stems have turned away from the earth, so that their tips again point upward. First, there comes a slight bend close to the tip. Close to the tip. which gradually increases until the tips are pointing upward again, until the tips are pointing upward, tips are pointing upward, tips are pointing upward again. Here is a common snail, common snail. Notice that it is moving in an upward direction. Immediately, its shell drops. Gradually, the body turns until the snail is pointing up again. We then revolve the plate. Phototropism, another reaction of all living things, is determined by light. An organism turns toward or away from a source of light. To demonstrate this turning reaction, we use an oat seedling. Grown in total darkness, it was straight and vertical. Exposed to a constant source of light placed at its left, the seedling bends toward it in the course of 4 hours. Most of the flies collect at that end. Stereotropism can be observed in plants. A young tendril has been brought in contact with a stick, brought in contact with a stick. Stereotropism can be observed in plants. Contact with the stick has been the stimulus. The twining has been the reaction. Notice this mouse. Notice this mouse. Notice this mouse. All mice generally follow walls. All mice generally follow walls. Walls. All mice generally follow walls. All mice generally follow walls. From time to time, side movements seem to indicate a tendency to lose contact with the wall. But the mouse very soon returns to it. All mice generally follow walls. All mice generally follow walls. Other tropisms are known. A worm, when placed across the electrical field, will turn both ends away from the positive pole, which the arrow indicates. If we reverse the current, the worm turns the other way. This is a true tropism, a directed reaction to a stimulus. Fishes, on the other hand, react to the direction of a current of water. In one picture, the floating strings are forced out of the vertical position by the current of water, which the fish always face. If we reverse the current, in a few seconds the fish have turned so as to head against it. Such a reaction can frequently be seen in rivulets and streams. Rivulets and streams. Rivulets, rivulets, rivulets and streams. Where schools of minnows and other small fishes swim in large numbers with their heads pointing upstream. Note how quickly these fish react to the change in current. Even if they do not progress forward, they will always swim in such a direction that the current will not carry them downstream. Higher reactions are the result of the interplay of different stimuli. Some plants, such as the Venus flytrap, are called sensitive plants for their quick reactions to touch. Quick reactions to touch. Quick reactions to touch. In the center of each half of the hinged leaf are 3 stiff hairs. 3 stiff hairs. In the center of each half of the hinged leaf are 3 stiff hairs. Some transmission of effect from hairs to hinge must have occurred. If we touch the tip of a leaf gently, we notice that first one and then another of the leaflets fold over. Then if we stroke harder, stroke harder, stroke harder, stroke harder. Then if we stroke harder, the whole set of leaflets folds over. In every case, the stimulus is transmitted away from the point where it is applied. Animals will show reactions of the same order. Pufferfish, when handled or rubbed on the belly, puffs up and expands a great deal. Many organs far from the point of stimulation are brought into play to produce this result. Some reactions in higher animals are absolutely involuntary. Absolutely involuntary. If we rub this dog's back, his hind leg scratches his side vigorously. Be done over and over again. Over and over again. It is a true involuntary reaction. All living things have a common property called irritability. Notice this mouse. Here is a common snail. Common snail. Notice this mouse. Notice this mouse. Notice this mouse. All mice generally follow walls.